Hey guys, it's that nooner time again. That's right, Junkman Nooner. Junkman Nooner. This one's going to be a little different. I think I say that every time, don't I? So, we're going to talk about something you really don't hear me talk about much on this channel. I've done a few videos on it. When I find something interesting to say, I will talk about it. And that's G.I. Joe. I know, I grew up in the 80s playing with toys. And you'd think I would have more G.I. Joe videos. I mean, I've got He-Man videos, and Star Wars videos, of course, but G.I. Joe? No, like I said, a few videos where there was something interesting or different to talk about. That's because I never got into G.I. Joe. Again, you think a child of the 80s, especially the early 80s when I was younger, I would have been into G.I. Joe, at least the action figure line. I know a lot of friends that was. I had a friend named Justin that was really into G.I. Joe, and I just never... I mentioned it before that I was just a one-trick pony type of guy, that I had Star Wars, that's all I cared about, and I figured I'd take this opportunity to hear from you guys of what turned you on to G.I. Joe. What got you into the figures? Why'd you say, hey, Star Wars is okay, but G.I. Joe's my thing? Or I'll collect Star Wars and G.I. Joe. Some of you might collect both. What was it that pulled you in? Was it the cartoon that pulled you over to G.I. Joe? Was it the theme of G.I. the Army theme of G.I. Joe that pulled you into the toys? Or maybe a combination of both. Now, I said I didn't have any G.I. Joe, but actually I did. I remember, actually, my friend Justin, I guess his parents, or for my birthday, he gave me a G.I. Joe action figure. It came with a motorcycle. It was a motorcycle with a figure. I want to say there was a sidecar. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just making that up. I do remember playing with that. I do remember liking it. But still, it didn't spark anything in me to watch G.I. Joe or go get more G.I. Joe stuff. So I really don't have much knowledge of G.I. Joe. I mean, I know the basics. I know there's Cobra. That's about all I can about all I can tell you, really. I know Cobra. I know they've done some celebrity figures. Didn't they do a figure of the football player, the refrigerator Perry? Didn't they do a figure of that and some other ones? On my videos, I've done some lawsuit videos about G.I. Joe, and another one, can't remember it off the top of my head now. So I know those kind of, I mean, I already forgot this other video. Let's see, Cobra, Commander, of course I know. Snake Eyes, I've heard of Snake Eyes. I remember thinking Snake Eyes was cool. Remember that. I remember being confused by the line because I thought it was an Army line, and then later in the 80s I started seeing other things like a football player, and then I remember in the 90s they went G.I. Joe Extreme. That's when Hasbro was giving everyone big muscles. I still never got into that. Growing up in the 70s, my brother had a G.I. Joe, and I just remember petting his hair. That's all. That's my fondest memory of G.I. Joe, is petting G.I. Joe's hair. Of course, we're talking about a 12-inch to large size here that had the fuzzy hair. I don't know the guy's name. He had a beard and fuzzy hair, and I just loved touching his beard and his hair. Oh, it was great. But again, I can't remember watching the cartoon. I'm sure I was aware of the cartoon. It's just odd that I never really got into G.I. Joe. So I don't know how fun this video is going to be to see a guy talk about G.I. Joe and not know anything about it. Seeing what else I can add. Like I said, I had some friends that was really into G.I. Joe. But even throughout, G.I. Joe's been around forever. Just never really got into it. Again, that's why I want to hear from you guys in this nooner short video. What got you into G.I. Joe? Were you into G.I. Joe? I know a lot of you are into Star Wars, so you're into G.I. Joe first, and then Star Wars came along, you kind of got a little bit of both. Or did you just say, hey, G.I. Joe's on TV every day, Star Wars is on TV every 3 years, well, the movies every 3 years, I'm going to get into G.I. Joe. Or maybe you wasn't like me, where you didn't feel like you only had time for one thing. Maybe you're all over the board. Maybe you collected G.I. Joe, Star Wars, 3 or 4 other lines, Thundercats maybe. I don't even remember Thundercats. I have no memories at all of the 80s and Thundercats. It's like I never even heard of the Thundercats until the 90s. I know, it's weird. It's weird. Hey, I was out on my bicycle in the woods and stuff a lot. I didn't watch a lot of TVs. If it wasn't Smurfs, if it wasn't Alvin and the Chipmunks, if it wasn't He-Man in the afternoon, chances are I probably didn't watch it. But let me know who that G.I. Joe figure is that came with the motorcycle. If there's one. There's nothing that came with a motorcycle. And did it have a sidecar? I want to say it had a sidecar, but maybe it didn't. And I believe it was all in one box. I don't believe I got 2 gifts. That's asking too much for a kid. But again, let me know what pulls you into G.I. Joe, what you love about G.I. Joe, what was great about it. I know they got some cool playsets with that ship and everything, that flagship. The thing is awesome. Makes me kind of jealous that I didn't get into G.I. Joe and have that as a kid. But let me know what you had as, what you loved about G.I. Joe, what pulled you into it, and just, maybe say, hey, this is why I thought G.I. Joe was the best toys of the 80s, because some people tell me it's the best toy line of the 80s, but we'll see what you guys say. Maybe you guys don't like G.I. Joe either, but I doubt it. I bet many of you, most of you watching this video, love G.I. Joe. Anyway, this is Junkman Nooner. Of course, be back with a longer video later, but just wanted to get this up and see why you like G.I. Joe. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.